As I drove down the winding dirt road that led to my childhood home, nostalgia overwhelmed me. The dusky landscape of the rural Southwest could feel both cozy and eerie in equal measure. My mind filled with stories about skinwalkers, tales my Navajo grandfather used to tell. Part shaman, part demon, these beings are said to take on the shape of animals to fulfill their dark purposes. I'd always assumed that they were just tales meant to scare curious kids. However, tonight was different. The once comforting familiarity of the landscape was tainted by an uncanny presence. The howls of the coyotes and the rustle of the wind against the desert scrub had a different note, as if the night was alive and whispering warnings. Arriving at the ranch, the usual porch light was absent. It cast an eerie silhouette of the house against the pale moonlight. Getting out of the car, my boot crunched on the gravel, echoing in the silence of the night. There was no bark of welcome from Rusty, our old shepherd mix, only a distant, forlorn whimpering. I found Rusty hiding under the porch, shivering, his eyes wide and glazed with terror. He refused to come out, even when I tried to coax him with his favorite treat. Suddenly, an eerie howl echoed in the distance, a sound I couldn't quite place. Coyote, but not quite, and it sent a chill down my spine. With a heavy heart, I left Rusty and ventured inside the house. The silence within was unsettling. My parents were on a trip, leaving the house to me for the week. But this stillness felt unnatural, laced with a sense of dread. As I moved through the dark rooms, I stumbled upon a sight that made my heart leap into my throat. In the living room, the back door was wide open, its screen door swinging gently, creaking in rhythm with the desert wind. Dread turned into fear as I saw the muddy footprints, too large to be human, leading from the door and disappearing into the kitchen. Following the tracks, I felt the air turn icy cold. In the kitchen, the scent of rot and decay filled my nostrils. There on the table lay a lifeless hare, its body twisted unnaturally, its vacant eyes staring at me accusingly. Something was wrong with its skin, as though it had been stretched, distorted. The coyote's howl pierced the night again, but this time much closer. It was a long, mournful sound that made the air quiver. I turned back to the hare, but it was gone, leaving behind only the faint stench of decay. Gripped by terror, I retreated to the living room, planning to bolt for my car. But something in the yard caught my attention. There, in the pallid moonlight, stood a figure. It was a coyote, but it was grotesquely large, its body hunched unnaturally, standing on its hind legs. Its eyes glowed with an eerie yellowish hue, boring into my very soul. Before I could react, the creature let out an ear-piercing howl that sounded almost human. A primal fear surged through me as the creature began to shapeshift before my eyes. Its form convulsed, its skin stretching and morphing as it took on a different shape. It was becoming human. A scream was trapped in my throat as I stumbled back. The figure was now an old man, but his eyes were still the same eerie yellow, and his grin revealed sharp, predatory teeth. I backed away until my back hit the cold wall. The old man, or whatever it was, tilted his head and spoke in a guttural voice that echoed the wind. "Welcome home." Panic seized me, and I scrambled towards the front door, yanking it open. As I raced to my car, the horrifying howls of the creature rang in my ears, a haunting melody that was both man and beast. I drove away, leaving my childhood home behind. But every howl of the wind, every rustle of the desert scrub, and every coyote's cry now carried the echo of that night. The stories were true. I had seen a skinwalker, and my home would never feel the same again.